Survival on Purpose coverage of the 2019 SHOT Show is sponsored by Hog Holsters, Olight Flashlights, and Heal That Pain Shoe Insert. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose coverage of the 2019 SHOT Show. I'm here with David from Ultimate Survival Tips, who has become a good friend of mine over the last few years, and he's got this really cool product. He's just come to market. You got a Facebook,
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, yeah.
The Kickstarter
Going right now.
Finally.
Kickstarter, Facebook. They sound kind of the same, right? Anyway, I just want to show it to you because I think it's super, super cool. It is the, what do you call it?
It's a tiny survival guide.
Tiny survival guide.
Yes.
So
here you go.
Check this
tiny
out.
Survival guide. It's in the wallet.
And we're going to see if I can do this. He showed me the easy way to do it. Bam, look at that. Whoa, I did it.
You did it.
And it's got like, man, this is everything from like food, hunting, navigation, self-defense.
Right here, start with panel A. It's all organized by color from the most important things to maybe lesser important things, starting with how to use this guide, right?
Yeah.
So this is a 72 panel guide. So essentially we've condensed about 70 to 75 pages of a book into a very concise all-purpose survival guide.
And it's really, I mean, it's got illustrations. It is, man, I was not sure. I heard about this and I wasn't sure what to expect because I think I heard about it on your podcast.
Yep.
And which, by the way, is the, what is your podcast?
It's the Survival Show podcast. You can pick it up anywhere.
Yeah, you check that one out. It's pretty cool. You and Craig Caudill, right?
That's right. Yep.
But I wasn't sure what to expect, and that's the first time I had a chance to look at this. And it is, it's amazing to me the amount of information that's packed into this credit card size deal here, man.
Credit card size, fits in an Altoids tin, fits in your pocket. It's made out of weather resistant and
that's what I was going to say,
almost tear-proof materials. It's a very special material that we were able to source for this particular guide. A lot of wilderness maps are made out of the same material.
And it's got illustrations. I think the illustrator for this thing is a good friend of mine also, right?
Yeah, I spent about a month. My daughter helped out on some of the illustrations. We spent about a month and couldn't find anybody else to do it the way I wanted to do it, and that's what we did. Which
I think is pretty cool because I asked him, I said, who did the drawings here? And he said, no, I did. I was like, are you serious, man? A man of many talents. And then something else that's pretty cool about it is if you're like a high-tech redneck like me, it's got QR codes.
Yeah, so the QR codes, I'm going to say there's somewhere between 20 and 30 QR codes in here. Basically what these are, you scan those with your phone app, or most phones now you can just, in your photo app, it'll pick it up. And what those do is they link to certain websites.
So there's going to be people doing that on the video right at home now. Because
they could do that. They can do that. So you scan those with your phone, you'll go to a video. Like, for instance, we have over here, we condensed down a legit how to do a bow drill set, right? Now, we all know that you want to be working on this before you need to make a bow drill in the wild, right? So what we do is we have this QR code right here. Scan that with your phone. Your phone will go to, I've got a 2-part series on how to do a bow drill fire. So you go there, learn how to do a bow drill. This is a quick reference if you get stuck. And this is, this guide is meant, Brian, to not just be a last-ditch reactive guide where, okay, it's in my wallet, I don't have anything else with me, I don't know what to do, pull this out and I know what to do, like in a rescue situation. That's fine, but it's actually a proactive guide. We designed this to be an educational tool for people before they get into a crisis.
I mean, that's kind of like buying a knife and sticking it in your pack and never trying it. And the first time you take it out, you don't know if you don't want to know if you don't want to know how to use it, know if it's going to break or not.
That's right. Yep.
Or like buying a gun and never shooting it, right? So you got to
same thing.
What's the Boy Scout motto again? Anyway,
be prepared.
It is be prepared.
That's
right. So that's, and you've also got I don't know if you prepared. You've got the other thing too.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this is the Tiny Survival Guide, just launched on Kickstarter.
Yeah, how can they find out about this? I'm so professional.
So what I'll do is I'll give you a link, right? So in your video description, if you want to put it in there, or you can just go to Kickstarter, look up, just put in Tiny Survival Guide. We're getting ranked really good on Kickstarter. We actually funded in 14 hours.
Wow.
So it's smoking over there. Yeah. But there's a second part of this. About, I'm going to say like 4 or 5 years ago, I saw these. This is the Tiny Survival card. Right there. I started seeing these credit card size. Some of them are a little bit bigger. They don't fit in an Altoids tin. This one does. So this is credit card, a little bit sub credit card size. I saw these and I was like, this is a really interesting thought to have a credit card where you have these punch out tools and you could use them as a last ditch thing. The problem is I felt like they were mostly gimmicky, right? Because they were kind of cheap, flimsy steel, the ones I originally saw, and not all of them. There's been some good attempts at them. But I felt like they didn't incorporate the most essential tools that could be put on a card like this that actually functioned well. And one of them was a knife. So it's got a functional knife. It's got 6 hooks. It has an arrowhead. It's got a fine and medium saw that's legit and it actually works right out of the box. It's got 3 needles. It actually has something that I've never seen before, which I've needed. Like, let's just say you want to make a bobber for fishing out of a little piece of branch to float it, right? This is actually a thumb drill. So you snap that out. You kind of go back and forth for about 15 minutes, and you get a nice small hole that you can put your fishing line through, right? We've got a little tiny button here that actually can attract attention. It could be used as a fishing lure. And we've got 2 other things here. These, I call these mini micro skewers or micro harpoons. And so you could use those for like a bug gig or maybe even a small frog gig, right?
So, and this knife actually has an edge on it.
Okay, so the process...
You can see that.
The process that is used for this, Brian, it actually does a bottom carve, a top carve, and then there's a centerpiece that sticks out a little bit. This knife is not, it's not like carving sharp out of here. But what we did is that was one issue. So if you create a knife, how do you not like lose these tools? So what I did is one day I looked over at my file cabinet and I went, oh, magnet, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
This is supposed to be a non-magnetic steel, but I tested it and I'm like, it is magnetic. So what you can do is you can actually take this knife off, put it on your belt sharpener, put it on your diamond blade, whatever, sharpen it up and replace it back on the card.
Right.
And then you can stick this back in your wallet. So basically, most of the tools can just be taken off, used, and when you're done with them, put them right back on there. Otherwise, they just become like a mess of junk that just ends up all over the place, right? Yeah. The only one that you really can't replace once you use it is the tweezers, which actually function. I kind of redesigned and rethought how to do tweezers. These actually, when you go and play with them, you're going to find out that they spring back, but they don't straighten out real good and go back on the card. That's the only other tool. The one other thing is every tool has a small hole in it, so if you did have some fishing line, you could string them all together to keep them together. That was one problem I had with previous tools. How do you keep these things all together? Yeah. So between the card and the holes in each one, you can keep it organized. And
so that's just well thought out, and that's really stinking cool. Because I've seen these too, and I've got some. I thought, they're just. I don't know. This is the best one I've seen so far. And I'm not just saying that because we're friends, but I'm telling you, just the fact that the button did it for me. I don't know. That's just like I don't know.
All the tools, the button did it.
The button, because you lose a button, that could be a life-changing event. In other words, even if you're not stranded in the wilderness, this could keep your britches up or your shirt button if you need to, right? You got a little emergency kit there.
Craig's been talking about taking the arrowhead and going turkey hunting with it, so maybe we'll have a video on that too.
That's cool. And I didn't know that was tweezers, so that's really good too.
You can actually use it as a reflector. This is all U.S. sourced. It's 302.025 inch thick, 302 hardened stainless steel, U.S. sourced, and my manufacturer is U.S. based too. Another thing we're doing with this, do you mind if I talk about giving back?
You talk about all you want to talk about.
I really wanted to give back with this project, right? So what we're doing is, it just got me thinking about the whole rescue, survival, covering the bases on all of that. Just how thankful I am for first responders, disaster relief, and our veterans, right?
Yep.
So what we're doing with this project is 10% of the profits are going to charity, to specific charities. For folks that serve us and keep us safe in those occupations.
Yeah, which is, so not only can you get a really, really very useful couple of survival items, but you can also, doing so, you can help support the guys that might come to help you if you can last long enough using one of these, right?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So I got to say, to be completely honest with you, friends or not, when I first heard about this, I heard about it on the podcast, I was kind of wondering, okay, I mean, how much can you do with those tiny survival? I didn't know what it was, man. I'm pretty stinking impressed by this. And also, and we won't give away the secrets. I know you got some really cool stuff coming down the line, some of the stuff you told me about.
We have a lot more cool things that are going to be tied to all these tiny tools. Yeah.
And the price point on these is about?
So the Kickstarter special on the guide, if you just want to buy a onesie, is $9, right?
Wow, that's a killer deal.
And I actually have these set up in packs, so you can get, you know, the two items together. You can get them separate. You can get them in onesies, 5Zs, 10Zs, and up to 100. So let's just say, for instance, you wanted to get 100 guides for your big Boy Scout troop. The price then on Kickstarter goes down to $6 a piece. And then let's say you want to get a whole bunch of these, maybe 100. So they go down to $11 a piece. So I think the card starts at $17, $18, but the more that you buy, the price comes down dramatically. And the same thing with the gun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And once again, U.S. sourced, U.S. companies and supporting some really, really good charities.
And I do want to say one thing about the guide. Obviously, I designed it. I laid it out. Craig Cottle and I, the founder of Nature Reliance School and the author of Extreme Wilderness Survival, and also my co-host on the Survival Show podcast. We worked this thing for like 4 months. I've been working on the card for 2 years, proving the concept, testing it with people. What I want to say about the guide is I could not find a U.S. manufacturer to meet my criteria, because this guide is the way this guide is. It's never been done before, even the products we're using. So the guide is actually made in the UK, of all things.
Wow.
Yeah.
And something that I think is cool about it. This is, maybe you didn't mention this, but I just happened to think of it. I'm sitting here holding it. It's got these cardboard or stiffer covers to keep it from getting all jammed up, I guess, and screwed up. And when you hold it, he had to show me this because it took me like 10 minutes to unfold it the first time. But if you do it right, you can just unfold it. So,
yep.
Pretty cool. So, well, Dave, I really appreciate this. I'm probably going to check into this and this might be a good Boy Scout thing to get all my guys on my Scout trip.
I will give you a great deal for your Boy Scouts.
I'm sure you will.
If you get the Boy Scouts of America, I will give them a really great deal.
I think this would be a great thing to have for a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout or anybody else, or just a regular human being. So.
And this thing is really set up too. Like, just say, for instance, the Boy Scouts of America wanted us to customize it with their logo and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm totally set up to do that for any organization or retailer. Yeah.
Well,
Brian, thank you so much.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Dave. Thank you for watching Survival on Purpose coverage of the 2019 SHOT Show. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Survival on Purpose coverage of the 2019 SHOT Show. Once again, I'd like to thank my sponsors and encourage you to go check them out. First of all, Hog Holsters, helping Americans wear guns. Olight Flashlights, makers of the PL Mini, PL Valkyrie, and lots of other cool flashlights. And the folks at Heal That Pain Heal Seats, which I'm wearing right now. They literally changed my life. So I encourage you to check them all out. Tell them I said hello and thanks for sponsoring this year's coverage of the 2019 SHOT Show. Once again, my name is Brian. Thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.